Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a dragon. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the top part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. On the bottom right side, draw another circle as a guide for the lower section of the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. Make this circle slightly smaller. The farther apart you place the circles, the longer the body will be. On the top right side of the first circle, draw a smaller circle as a guide for the head. Make this circle about 1/3 the size of the first circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. On the bottom right side of the head, make a small mark for the muzzle. Connect the small mark to the head using sloping lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. The base of the muzzle should be wider than the tip. Draw a long sloping line to divide the head in half. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later on. Under the first circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. Bend the leg in the middle to indicate a joint, and again at the bottom for the foot. To the left, draw a similar line as a guide for the other front leg. Under the lower circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend the bottom of the line to the left to indicate the foot. Connect the head to the body using long curved lines to create the guide for the neck. The line for the top edge of the neck should be very long. Make the bottom line short. Connect the body circles using 2 sloping lines to finish the guide for the torso. Curve the lines slightly. Starting on the bottom right side of the body, draw a long curved line as a guide for the tail. Curve the line upward. You can make the tail longer if you'd like. Draw another curved line for the top edge of the tail. Make the base of the tail wide and then gradually make the shape thinner toward the tip. Starting on the back of the body, draw a long angled line as a guide for the wing. Don't overlap the head as you draw this line. The tip of this line should be high above the head. Angle the line downward so that it's to the right of the body. Bend the line near the middle to indicate a joint. Draw another long angled line to the left for the edge of the wing. It's okay to overlap the tail as you draw these lines. To the left, draw another long angled line as a guide for the other wing. The base of the wing is hidden behind the neck and the body. Start the line at the neck and then bend it to the left and downward. Draw these lines slightly lower than the feet. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small oval for the eye. Place the eye between the construction guide and the right edge of the circle. On top of the eye, draw an angled line for the brow. This line should slope down toward the muzzle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Curve the top line to create a furrowed brow. Make the sides of the eye flatter and more angled. The shape of the eye should be similar to a triangle. Lightly sketch a line above the eye for the top of the brow. Draw a series of small triangular shapes on top of the brow for spikes. Make the spike on the left small. Use the shape to the right as a guide to draw the muzzle. Draw a long curved line across the shape for the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Extend the left of the line so that it's inside the head. Follow the path of the guide to draw the top of the muzzle. Draw an angled line at the top for the nostril. Draw a line below the mouth for the lower jaw. Follow the path of the guide as you draw this line. Curve the line slightly. Follow the head circle to draw the line. Near the top of the muzzle, draw a couple of short angled lines for the other nostril. Draw a series of small V-shaped lines along the underside of the mouth for the teeth. Darken the top of the guides to create the top edge of the head. Draw a series of small triangular shapes along the top for spikes. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the spikes when you get the shapes right. Follow the path of the neck as you draw the spikes. On the top right side of the head, draw a few more small triangular shapes for the brow that's on the other side. Don't make these spikes too big. On the left side of the head, draw a long angled shape for the horn. Start by lightly sketching a long angled line for the bottom edge of the horn. Draw another angled line slightly higher for the top edge of the horn. Make the base of the horn curved. On top of the head, draw a similar shape for the other horn. The tips of the horns should be thin and pointy. When you get the shapes of the horns right, darken the lines. Draw a small triangular shape on the left side of the head for another horn. Sketch lightly at first, and when you get the shape right, darken the lines. Use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. The top of the leg should be inside the body. Make the shape curved to indicate the muscle structure. Make the bottom of the leg thinner. Curve the shape of the leg around the guideline to indicate the joints. At the very bottom, bend the shape to the left to create the foot. On the tip of the foot, draw a few small angled lines for the toes. Make the tips of the toes pointy for the claws. Draw a small spike on the right side of the joint. Use the line on the left as a guide to draw the other front leg the same way. Lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Use the first leg as a template as you draw this leg. Bend the bottom of the shape to the left for the foot. On the tip of the foot, draw a couple of angled lines for the toes. When you get the shapes of the legs right, darken the lines. Make the edges of the leg curved to indicate the muscles. Make the two legs similar in size. Use the angled line under the lower section of the body as a guide to draw the hind leg. Just like with the front legs, first lightly sketch the shape of the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg curved. At the bottom, bend the shape to the left to create the foot. When you get the shape of the hind leg right, darken the lines. On the tip of the foot, draw a few short angled lines for the toes. The other hind leg won't be visible from this angle. The hind foot should be longer than the front feet. Use the long angled lines to the right of the body as a guide to draw the first wing. Draw a small triangular shape on the top corner for a spike. Draw another line to the right of the vertical line to make the base of the wing thicker. Don't overlap the head as you draw this line. Darken the line on the right side for the outer edge of the wing. Darken the line in the middle for the inner edge of the wing. At the bottom, draw a couple of short lines for the bottom edge of the wing. Tilt the lines so that you create two pointy shapes at the bottom. On top of the body, draw a couple of short lines for the visible section of the rest of the wing. Use the angled line on the left as a guide to draw the other wing the same way. On the top corner of the wing, draw a small triangular shape for a spike. Follow the path of the guide as you draw the shape of the wing. Starting at the neck, draw another vertical line to make the base of the wing thicker. Draw a long curved line across the middle of the shape for the inner edge of the wing. Draw a couple of tilted lines at the bottom for the lower edge of the wing. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you draw the underside. Darken the curved shape on the right to create the tail. Draw a few more small triangles along the top of the neck for spikes. Draw a curved line inside the neck for the underside of the body. Add another line above the leg for the chest. On the tip of the tail, draw a small arrow-like shape for a spike. Use two angled lines to create this shape. Draw a few more spikes across the top of the tail. Add a line along the bottom of the tail for the underside. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Now color your drawing. Dragons are fictional creatures, so you can color your drawing however you'd like. For this look, use brown to color the spikes and horns. As you color, leave a few thin sections blank for highlights. Use brown to create shadows throughout the body. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Color the main section of the body using red. use a mixture of different shades of red. Use dark red for shadows and red-orange for highlights. Color lightly at first and gradually build up to darker colors. For a light shade of a color, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for a darker shade. Slowly and gradually blend all the colors together. Push down on your pencils slightly harder to blend the colors together. Use yellow and light brown on the underside of the body and wings. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using gray and a bit of blue. Draw a few lines on the underside of the wings and body to create veins and scales. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the dragon. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.